So the T20i Series is finished. Unfortunately, we were on the losing side, not just on the losing side, whitewashed 3-0 by what some would say is Australia's second string side, and they would not be wrong because there were just maybe 3 or 4 main players who we've been seeing in action for Australia across different formats, and the rest were either those who haven't played that much as yet, or in 1 or 2 cases, I think they were debutants as well. So it is definitely a concern. T20i mein we were very much behind. Not just behind in terms of how the game has changed. I think Pakistan team काफ़ी पीछे है बाकी teams, most of the teams when it comes to T20 as a format now, especially in the last 1.5 2 years. It has changed drastically, dramatically. Players का nature change हो गया है. In fact, I read somewhere that someone had written that India is taking T20 not just as a different format, but they're taking it as a different game. And honestly, it wouldn't be absolutely wrong for us to say that T20 is a different game. The more I was thinking about it, the more it made sense, because tests and ODI still have some sort of semblance or some strategical, technical nuances which can see a player sort of adapt to both games much more seamlessly. But when it comes to T20, it's a completely different beast, and that is something that is completely missing from Pakistan's lineup, especially when it comes to our batting for T20. But having said that, our bowling again has always been and will continue to be, as I said before, be the key to Pakistan's success or victory, because that is who we are, that is what we've always been. ODI series हम क्यों जीते? Because our bowling did well. Test series England के खिलाफ हम क्यों जीते? क्योंकि our bowling did well. T20i series में आते हैं. Now the first match was rain hit, 7 overs aside. Not going to delve too much into it, because इस तरह के मैचेस जो है ना, ये बस थोड़े से लक फैक्टर्स में और भी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है. 7 ओवर की गेम है, क्या ही कर लेंगे, मतलब क्या ही कैप्टनसी हो जाएगी, क्या ही स्ट्रेटेजिक थिंकिंग हो जाएगी. But I mean, kudos to Maxwell for the first game. He took the game away from us, launched a scathing attack. We didn't have a chance. Second T20I match, the bowlers did not start well, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the match. But however, Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah Afridi aside, बाकी bowlers ने Haris, Abbas Afridi and Mukeem, they did fantastically well to restrict Australia, who were at 51 in 3.1 overs, to restrict them to 148 in their 20 overs. That is a phenomenal effort on the part of the bowlers. ठीक है, पहले 3 overs में 51 Naseem और Shaheen ने खाए, and that is something that needs to be addressed. So for Naseem and Shaheen, it's not just a case of I feel fitness anymore, because they were slightly better in the ODIs. They applied themselves better in the ODIs, but T20 mein they're not. They did not apply themselves, and the same was the case for Shaheen in the third T20I as well. फर्स्ट T20I में बात करें तो उसमें भी उन्होंने मार खाई, बट लाइक आई सेड 7 ओवर साइड डिफरेंट माइंडसेट होता है, तो चलो उसमें आप डिस्काउंट दे सकते हो, आप बफर दे सकते हो एक. बट इन द सेकेंड T20I रिप्लेज उठा के देख लें, किसी ने भी मैच लाइव देखा है, उन लोगों की बॉलिंग बहुत ख़राब थी. एंड देन द थर्ड T20I मैच, सेकेंड T20I मैच में, सॉरी, जस्ट टू रैप इट अप, देन आवर बैटिंग अनफॉर्चुनेटली कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है. एक अप्रोच का मसला है कि T20 मैच को अप्रोच किस तरह करना है, मैच अवेयरनेस का मसला है. अब इन दिस पर्टिकुलर मैच द बॉलर्स हेल्प्ड रिस्ट्रिक्ट देम टू 148. टेक दैट, हैव दैट कीन मैच अवेयरनेस कि भाई 148 का टारगेट है, इट डजंट नीड टू बी मेट ऑल गन्स ब्लेजिंग, सो वी डोंट नीड टू कीप ट्राइंग टू हिट, and then when we fail, go into shells. I think the biggest problem in this was, unfortunately, Babar did not need to hit, so he got out, but at least he got out in early on only. I'm not saying he should have, मतलब मैं कोई उसको defend नहीं कर रहा. It was a poor shot in the sense that technique was fine, but placement was completely bad. It was not required at that point in time. It was not a high total. I think he should have stayed on the ground, थोड़ी सी एक opening stand build करता, and that would have perhaps helped Pakistan, get the base they needed to eventually reach the total. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Then बाकी players ने क्या किया? Rizwan played horrible innings, I'm sorry to say. Went into a complete shell, slowed down the game, and it wasn't there. Salman Ali Agha again just seems completely out of sorts. He didn't really get a chance to do anything in the ODI series. I mean, when he's gotten the chance to do something in the T20i series, he's not been able to do anything as yet. आपके बाकी players भी मतलब जल्दी out हो गए. Third T20i में अगर हम आए, पहले वाले में, second वाले में then Usman Khan, did well, got a half century. Irfan stood with him, got to a good total support दिया. It seemed as if they would be able to get the team across the line, but eventually फिर Usman Khan again, poor shot, poor execution. Perhaps उस बॉल को छोड़ देते, wasn't required, already set हो चुके थे, 50 हो चुकी थी उनकी, so he could have gone all the way, he could have taken the team further ahead, but that did not happen. And उसके बाद then it was a domino again, and this is something that needs to be explained to our so-called all-rounders, that they aren't actually all-rounders. They can PSL में हाफ सेंचुरी करना, PSL में लंबे छक्के मारना, मैच अवेयरनेस एक चीज़ होती है. किसी मैच में, अगर इंटरनेशनल मैच में एट किसी एक पॉइंट पे आके अगर आपका लग गया, तो इट इज़ एट द एंड ऑफ द डे लक फैक्टर विच इज़ हेल्पिंग यू द मोस्ट. सो दैट इज़ समथिंग दे हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. नहीं हो रहा वो. शाहीन नसीम फर्स्ट T20i में भी आए, गन्स ब्लेजिंग, बस स्विंगिंग वाइडली कि जी बस छक्का लग गया तो हमारी वाह वाह हो जाएगी. सेकंड T20i में आए, दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट दे डिड. इरफान खान अगले हैंड पे खड़ा है, थोड़ा सेट हो चुका है, आप उसको सपोर्ट दो. And he showed that if they would have given him support, he could have perhaps dragged them over the line. But नहीं, Shaheen Shah Afridi भी आया, he also wanted to hit a six, Zampa ने out कर दिया. Naseem Shah came down, charging towards him, got bowled. मतलब इसमें ट्रेनिंग की भी नहीं कहूँगा ना. They're senior players now, they've been playing cricket for a long time, so this is something that they should be able to recognize and understand themselves. But onus is also on the management to identify this and work on this with them. थर्ड T20i में आते हैं, रिजवान गॉट रेस्टेड, नसीम गॉट ड्रॉप्ड, एंड उनकी जगह जहानदाद खान आए थे, एंड रिजवान की जगह हसीबुल्लाह को चांस मिला. वी बैटेड फर्स्ट. आई थिंक द पावर प्ले, वी लुक्ड अ वेरी डिफरेंट टीम, वेरी डिफरेंट इंटेंट. बाबर एंड साहिबजादा फरहान तो जल्दी आउट हो गए थे, बट देन बाबर एंड हसीबुल्लाह gave us a very good start. Babar was playing very good at a very good pace. I think power play में we were 58 for 1, and then from over number 6 to over number 10 we slumped to 73 for 3. And फिर वहाँ से कहानी यही थी कि मतलब विकेट गिरी जा रही है, and then Babar, who was trying to play at a certain pace, eventually got out to Zampa again on a ball that he could have perhaps read better. I wouldn't call it a special ball per se, but so he got out at 42, but he played a good knock. If he would have gotten support, we could have gotten a better total. बट नहीं, बाबर के अलावा और किसी ने कुछ भी नहीं किया. उस्मान खान, आई मीन दैट वाज अ पोर शॉट. इट वाज क्या थी वो शॉट, समझ नहीं आई. रूम अपने आप को दे के गोइंग डाउन द ग्राउंड एंड देन जस्ट वाइल्डली विदाउट लुकिंग स्लैशिंग द बॉल. सलमान अली का 8 balls 1 run, कम्प्लीटली शेल में खेलते हुए. जो ऑलराउंडर्स हैं, अगेन दे डिड द सेम थिंग. शाहीन शाह अफरीदी आए, वो थोड़ा बहुत उन्होंने कर लिया, बट आई मीन ही कुडंट टेक इट टिल द एंड. अब्बास अफरीदी एक दफ़ा रन आउट का चांस बच गया, फिर दूसरी दफ़ा वो करवा के छोड़े इरफान को रन आउट. सो इरफान couldn't do anything also. And then eventually our players just got all out at 118 and just wasn't enough. And at the end of the day, it was a combination of poor bowling, very low total, and Australia just romped to this total. Stoinis आया, उसने कहा कि बस बहुत हो गया. And he just smacked Afridi and Haris Rauf in successive overs for 20 runs or 22 runs apiece or something like that, and the game was done and dusted then. So yeah, I think this T20i series has flat out showed us that T20 is a different ball game, and one in which we are very, very much behind the ball. We are very much behind the curve in terms of the rest of the world. I think there are a lot of changes which are required, a lot of things that need to be improved. Have to, I think, start thinking of the 2026 World Cup from now only. I think the overall setup of the team, overall balance of the team needs to be changed. Approach needs to be changed, and that can only help us in the 2026 World Cup if we start doing it from now. Zimbabwe series up next, so let's see what happens in that. Poor show in the T20 series. I'm happy at least कुछ तो लेके जा रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया से. Usually हम लोग कुछ भी नहीं लेके जाते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया से. Usually almost always we never take anything from Australia, so I think taking the ODI series win is still a win, and that is something we should be happy about. But very, very bad loss in the T20 series. So good luck to the team for Zimbabwe, and let's see how that goes, especially because it's a much more young looking side. Senior players have been rested, so काफ़ी अच्छा मौका है for youngsters to be able to do something. And all the best to us, and enjoy your day. Thanks.